Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Apologies about the sound of the kettle. If you can hear that, it is just going off, so there we go. The noise is fading. Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title and the couple of little clips that you've already seen, we're going to be reading some romance in this video for Valentine's Day. Obviously for me it's not quite Valentine's Day yet, it is February though, so it is, you know, the month of love. And for you, it is around the time of Valentine's Day. So I'm going to try and read 3 romance books in this video. The first one I've already started, as you've seen, and it is a novel love story by Ashley Poston. I have been so excited to read this for so long. I've not been putting it off kind of on purpose. There's just been other books that for various reasons I've just kind of needed to get to before this one, but I thought this is the perfect opportunity to give myself the excuse to finally read this. So I'm listening to it on audio. I don't own a physical copy. I have already ordered a special edition of it, but that won't be here for another few months. I ordered it before knowing if I liked it because the special edition was so gorgeous. I could not stand the idea of like not buying it and then loving the book and then not having it. So I pre-ordered that a good couple of months ago. I think it's the Fairy Loot edition, or is it a Illumicrate? Honestly guys, don't know. It's a gorgeous edition anyway. This book is, like Ashley Poston's other kind of well-known books, a magical realism book. So in this one, our main character finds herself in the world of her favourite book by accident. I've not got much further in than that. I'm about 20% in at the moment. She's just kind of pottering around right now, living life very confused in this little town that she's found herself in, and I'm just loving the vibes. There doesn't seem to be a massive plot at the moment. I feel like in the Dead Romantics and the 7 Year Slip, they were definitely just like vibey books, but there was some kind of like plot or purpose or point, and I don't know what the point or the plot or the purpose of this book is yet, but I'm just having a great time. I'm just having a good time wandering around. It's great small town vibes anyway, regardless of the fact that it's like a fictional little town, but the fact that it's a fictional little town is adding to the vibes very nicely. So yeah, I'm having a good time. I don't really know what else to say about it because there's not a massive amount going on. I will say I'm aware that this book has not been well received and a lot of people don't like it. I'm not expecting this to be like a groundbreaking 5-star read. I'm just hoping it'll be a fun little time. I'm also not expecting the romance to be groundbreaking. I'm not a massive fan of the romances in Ashley Poston's books. I think I gave the Dead Romantics 3 stars and the 7 Year Slip a 3.75. I enjoyed the reading experience of both of them, but I do find her romance, the romance elements of her books to be quite underdeveloped. So I think it's probably helpful that I'm going into this book with those expectations. I think a lot of people started reading a novel love story coming off the back of being obsessed with the 7 Year Slip. As I said, I liked the 7 Year Slip, I definitely wasn't obsessed. So I think I've got the right amount of expectation going into this one that will hopefully mean that it's quite like a fun, easy, just enjoyable reading experience. But we'll see. Maybe she'll rip my heart out and stomp on it, we never know. We never know in an Ashley Poston book. But yeah, I will update you when I'm maybe like halfway through to see if I can tell you any more about the book without spoiling it, if anything else has kind of happened by then. And then I also plan to read Savour It by Tara DeWitt and Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young in this video, both of which are also romances that I have very much been anticipating. So all 3 of them, even though they're all romances, they're slightly different. So this one's magical realism. I'll speak about Savour It and Out on a Limb a bit more when I get to them, but Savour It is, I think, a small town romance, and then Out on a Limb is an accidental pregnancy trope. So yeah, I'll come back to you when I'm about halfway-ish through another love story. Sorry that like an egg, by the way. I've got hair masking, so the hair is slicked back. It's hair wash day today. But regardless, I'll pop back in when I've got more to say about another love story. And yeah, I hope this is just going to be a fun, easy video where I'm just going to like all the books, not have to DNF any of them. I feel like it's already the year of the DNF for me, and it's February. So let's hope in this video we just have an easy, simple time and just find 3 good romance books that I actually like. I've not had a clip of me just holding the camera sat on the sofa for a while, but guys, I really can't be bothered to move right now, so I do apologise. But I have some reading updates. First of all, I finished A Novel Love Story. I gave it a 4.25. I really liked it. Was the romance great? No. But I'm glad that I knew that before going in. I was just going into this book for vibes, and it gave me good vibes. Romance is definitely underdeveloped, but I always find that in Ashley Poston books, and I feel like that's an unpopular opinion. I didn't love the romance in The 7-Year Slip or The Dead Romantics either. I just kind of read her books because they're well written, and they tend to have not happy vibes, but good vibes. Like, good and happy are different. This one though was quite like upbeat. Like, obviously, as always, the female main character had gone through stuff, she was running away, blah blah blah, but it wasn't too heavy, like it wasn't too much. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I've not got a massive amount to say because like not a massive amount happens. She basically just finds herself in this fictional world and potters about and falls in love, and yeah, it was just really sweet. So I'm very happy that I finally got around to that one. And then, as you'll have seen, I started reading Savour It by Tara Dewitt, and I accidentally finished it. I was going to give you a halfway update yesterday, but then I went to film that and my camera was dead. So I charged my camera battery, and then I got stuck in such awful traffic on the way to work this morning. I put the audiobook on and accidentally finished it. So unfortunately I don't have an update. I can't even remember if I introed that book. I think I mentioned it at the beginning. Basically, it's a small town romance, and the main female character, Sage, lives there. She's grown up there all her life, and the male main character, Fisher, that's his name, he's from New York, and he finds himself, for reasons, in this small town with his niece, Indy. So it's like single dad, but not, because he's not Indy's dad. He is her uncle, but he is her primary caretaker. He is like, he has Indy all the time, basically. And yeah, he finds himself in this small town. He hates small towns, he's had a bad experience with them in the past, he's jaded, and again, it just kind of goes from there. And I didn't love this one as much. I gave it a 3, but like it's a low 3. Giving it any less than a 3 felt harsh because there's nothing wrong with it per se. It's not like an offensively bad book. I just didn't love it personally. It was just, the romance, again, it just wasn't developed very well. It kind of came out of nowhere, like suddenly you're in love. Like, it was quite nice when they were just getting to know each other, but then all of a sudden they're in love and it's like, what? Like, where did that come from? I much preferred the bits where they were getting to know each other. I also felt that this lacked the small town charm that I would expect from a small town romance. We did have a couple of outings into the small town, but I don't feel like the town played enough of a part. I feel like in like Chestnut Springs and in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, especially in Rebel Blue Ranch, the small town and the people in it just like play such a part. And in this, it just felt like they were quite removed. And like, I don't know, it was weird because they did have stuff to do with the town, but it just didn't feel connected, and it didn't have that kind of small town charm that I want from this kind of romance. So I gave it a 3-star. Like, it wasn't bad, but I was kind of ready for it to be over, even though it's a very short book. I've got it here next to me, I don't know why I'm not holding it. Here we go, it's a very short book. Let me see how many pages it actually is. It's literally just over 300 pages, and I was still ready for it to be done. But yeah, again, it wasn't bad. I just think if you want a small town romance, there's ones out there that are just a lot better than this. Is that harsh? This wouldn't be my first recommendation, but some people love it, so don't let me put you off. It just wouldn't be my first port of call if I wanted a small town romance. So the last book we're going to be reading for this video is Just Out of Reach, Out on a Limb by Hannah Vernon Young. I haven't started that one yet, so we're up to date now. I'm going to start that one tonight, I think. And yeah, I'll try and actually give you a halfway update for that one because I don't have the audiobook for it, so I actually will be reading that one physically. So yeah, I'll pop back in when I'm like halfway through Out on a Limb, and fingers crossed it's a little bit better than Savour It. I'm hoping it will be. If you don't know, by the way, Out on a Limb, I don't know if I've already said, is an accidental pregnancy romance, which usually isn't for me. However, I've now read a couple accidental pregnancy romances and I actually really loved them. So I think it's just about picking the ones that are done well, and even though I've never read Hannah Vernon Young, I kind of trust her based on what I've heard from other people to do it well. So yeah, I will pop back in when I'm like 50% through that book and let you know how it is going. I'm literally only 50 pages in, I'm on chapter 4, but I'm getting really good vibes from these guys. I'm really loving it already. Like, this is the complete opposite of how I felt about Savour Me. Like, just Savour Me, Savour It, I don't even know what the book's called. Straight away, as soon as I started reading this on like page 1, I was like, yeah, this is my kind of romance. So I really hope those feelings continue. Hello, I'm now around like maybe 60% through Out on a Limb. I've got that much left, so just over halfway through. And I'm just loving it. I don't know what it is like. I don't think I've ever quite read a romance like this before, but there's also nothing special about it. But I don't mean that at all in a bad way. Basically, it's not written in like super flowery language or anything kind of out of the ordinary in terms of how it's written, but it just feels grounded and like real. I don't really know how to explain what I mean. Like, the characters feel like real people, the things that they're saying and thinking and doing. I'm like, yeah, I can, like, this almost feels like, not in the way it's written, but just the characters, it almost feels like a diary entry, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, it just kind of feels like this is someone's actual story. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind reading books where it's a bit like, come on now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I always kind of expect a bit of that in fiction, but this just feels very normal, but in the best way. Not like Savour It, which felt normal in a boring way. This isn't boring, it's so charming, it's so funny, you can feel the chemistry between them, even though it really is slow burn, which sounds ridiculous because I don't know if I explained the premise of this, but it's an accidental pregnancy. So obviously they have slept together right at the beginning of the book, but then there is still that tension, and you can see that their friendship is forming first before any romance. And I just want to encourage people, I don't want to spoil the book, but I was worried that they would sleep together at the beginning and then kind of keep being physical. That isn't the case where I am right now in the book. So just to kind of reassure people that yes, that does happen at the beginning, but then we kind of go back to basics and they really put work in to building up a solid friendship, which is kind of what they're in the process of doing now where I am. And yeah, I'm just loving it. I think there was definitely a risk that I wouldn't connect to this because I've never been pregnant, I don't ever plan to be pregnant, I'm not someone that wants children. So kind of reading about someone's pregnancy journey is definitely something that I'll probably never relate to. But this is written in such a way where you can kind of understand how she's feeling and you can kind of relate, even though it's not a situation that I've ever been in. So yeah, I'm just really loving this. I can really see this being a favourite romance. Like, I wish I could better articulate what I mean, but it's just normal in the best way. You know, like, does anyone watch kind of like vloggers on YouTube like Fabhan, for example, who just vlogs their completely normal life, and you're not watching it like thinking, oh my god, like I could never live like that. Like, you watch vloggers like that because they're normal. That's kind of how this book feels. Does that make any sense? I don't know, but anyway, I am literally loving this. I'll probably just get back to you now when I've finished it because I don't really see my thoughts changing, fingers crossed. We haven't really got to the relationship or any kind of conflict yet. I'm hoping there's not going to be an annoying third act breakup, but we will see. So I'll get back to you when I have finished this one and close out this video. I have wept like a baby. I literally finished this like not even a minute ago and I've come straight to speak to you about it. I loved this. I think I'm going to give it a 4.5. It was just, I think I've kind of said everything I needed to say. Like, my thoughts didn't really change as this went on. They just stayed consistently good. Like, this was just a simple, beautiful romance but like I said, not overly flowery language. It's not that it's got like amazing quotes or anything like that. I just feel like the romance is so solidly good that the book didn't need to do anything else. It was just so good. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this other than that I just loved it, and I would 100% recommend it. If you're not sure on accidental pregnancy, I think this could be the book to change your mind. It was just so well done. You could tell that they weren't together just because they were having a baby together. Like, you really saw their relationship grow right from the moment they met, right up until, like, you know, later on in life in the epilogue. And yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't even have the words. But I would 100% recommend this, and I'm so excited to read Out of the Woods as well. Is Out of the Woods Sarah and Caleb's story? I do have it. But Out in the Woods is the story of characters from this book. So I'm very, very excited to read that one. Oh, I just loved it so much. But anyway, that is the end of this reading vlog. So we read 3 romances, and I kind of need to get this edited and uploaded. So we're going to leave it there for today. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.